Okay, another beautiful day here, no rain. Imy's working on the forms that will be for our stem wall here, a 30 centimeter high stem wall. And she's measuring and marking right now for hole placement and placement on the concrete itself. I'm making the 1x2 supports, I guess we call them, that are going to go at the back of each plywood panel. And after we finish all of these, let's call them the outside forms, then we'll work on the inside forms and sort those out.
Oh, that's perfect. Look at the way that just sits there perfectly.
We're just saying how wonderfully easy it is putting these in. You know, they're not screwed in place yet, they're just with placeholders, but still, compared to the upper level, this is a breeze. There's monkeys up on the mountain above us again. And Bee doesn't like them very much. And she's ready to go racing up after them. So we put our only mountain leash on her. So I wanted to share some really quite good news. I think I mentioned before that we were having to get some reapprovals for this first floor slab. The reason being is when we put in this pit, well, a couple of things happened. First, in the original drawings, which were really speculative, the pit was over here in the kind of the middle towards the back. And when I built it, I put it at the front to act as a footer. And I didn't really pay attention to the first drawings from the architect because they were so speculative. I guess I should have. But anyway, because we put the pit in a different position, he had to resubmit drawings. But while I was doing that, I can see their shadows over. Bee, please, please, please. Thank you. Stop. Didn't work. Anyway, so the first thing is we moved the pit, so it had to be redrawn and resubmitted. So the second thing was, when I was building this, I pushed it out a further almost 2.5 feet, because the landscape or the terrain allowed me that. And I knew that we were still under our square foot limitation. We have to be under 100 square meters of total floor space for me to be allowed to build it by myself. And I think we were at 88 anyway. So I saw the opportunity to make the living room, almost 2.5 feet wider, and so I took it. They're all over. And so for those two reasons, the architect had to do extra drawings. And we just got the approvals back yesterday. He went and picked them up and he delivered them to us this morning. And we talked through a couple of things. I thought we were going to have to really redo the pit. Originally we thought, because I moved it around into such a strange, risky place, that the opening would have to be covered up, and there was a whole bunch of little bits of stress there. But it turned out all good. We've got new approvals, moving forward. After yesterday's progress, today we're going to get started on we're going to continue the outside forms on both sides, and then we're going to do the inside forms. But before all of that, we're going to put a row of rebar, 10 mil rebar, horizontal all the way around here. We may leave that area open for walking in and out. But yeah, and before we do that, we're just going to clean up all of this first. Like that. So while Imy's working up here on the second level, tying the rebar, I'm going to do something that we didn't do yesterday, which is check the level of these new forms, these stem wall forms that we're putting up. We're supposed to pour the concrete right to the top, and we measured everything to be 300 mil from the surface of the poured concrete to the top of the board. So the stem wall will be 300 mil, but we noticed when we were over at that end that the concrete actually dipped down about 1 centimeter, and so we had to correct, and so we haven't done a final check on the absolute height of the forms. I was able to pull the string tighter. I think it's pretty tight. I can't get much more slack out of it. Right on this end, it's looking a little low. Okay, now that I've got the forms, the inside forms for the front stem wall finished, I need to identify the holes to drill for the spacers. This really is going to be easy. Set the first form on its mark, right at the 20 centimeter position from this stem wall. And there are our points. I'll just magic marker them and drill the hole. We've got all the separators in place and the holes on the inner forms marked. We're going to put the pecan, or the plastic connector, the white thing, on the end of each of these separators. Pop up the panels, screw on the form ties, and this is done. We got to get the pipe from storage right over there up to and hanging on the wall. And I'm pretty sure I don't have enough. I've got a little bit more at a friend's place in town, but after I get this stuff up and on the wall, I'll have it counted and I'll be able to estimate what more I need and probably go get it today. So as I put these up, I have to stagger them. I've got a bunch of 4-meter lengths and 2-meter lengths and some 3-meter lengths. I've only got up a bunch of 4 right now, so I need to get some shorter ones up here so I can start staggering them and putting them on properly. Wasn't a good decision to wear my leather-soled boots up here today because I'm slipping and sliding all over these rocks. I can't get a grip, a good grip. dropping my tools. That wasn't as bad as I thought. I hate stepping on this rock. I hate everything about this rock. When we were putting in the forms, we were afraid it was going to come crashing down on us. It has such a nasty overhang. And it's massive. When I was putting up the back forms, I thought I was going to get crushed between the form and it. And now I have to walk on it. That's it. That's all the pipe inventory from down below. It's mostly 3 meter, 2 meter, some 1 meter. I think I've got all the 4 meter, maybe I think I've got 2 left, but all the 4 meter is already up there. So I got to deal with short ones and extensions. So let's see how much I can get done. And one thing I forgot to do on the first wall here is put the verticals in. It's much easier to put the verticals in when there's only one horizontal. But I've got 3 or 4 horizontals now, so I got to thread all the verticals from the top. All I've got left right now is this outside front, just back from the store, supply run, 6 lengths of 12-foot pipe, 2-inch galvanized steel. That means 3 trips up and down the mountain to get it from the truck to the top. You know what that means. Okay, you can see the bottom of the form, and the concrete is going to flow from under that bottom of that form to the rock and then find its own level. The concern is that when we pour too much, because it's going to be very easy to pour too much, the concrete will bubble up kind of around the bottom of those forms. Maybe not a lot, but enough to, once it cures, to lock in those forms and make them really difficult to remove. So I've talked with both my architect and the construction consultant, and they both have two completely different opinions and solutions. And I don't see either of them working practically. I mean, maybe the end result will work for both of them, but I don't know how to implement them. I don't know how to do it properly. So I've just kind of had a brainstorm about my own solution. I'm going to take a thin piece of plywood, maybe 6 inches wide or 6 feet long, and I'm going to try to screw it to the bottom of these forms. Okay, let's wrap this up. I don't know how long this video will be or is, but we covered a lot of ground over a lot of weeks. The next video is going to be pour. It could be dramatic. Thanks for hanging around.